Who actually controls the world? This is about the fascinating conspiracy theory that claims there are 13 most powerful families in the world, own 99% of the wealth, leaving 1% for the rest of the world to fight over. These are families that have a hold in almost every sphere of life, be it politics, business, or entertainment. The 13 bloodlines are said to have connections to wealth and power that are simply unimaginable. These families span from Europe to China. Hello and welcome to today's video, where we're going to discuss about the topic, who actually controls the world? But before we dive into that, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Now, let's discuss more about the topic. The leading researcher behind the Illuminati families is a man named Fritz Springmeier, an author and educator, and he has presented some of the most compelling details about the Illuminati bloodline. What is the Illuminati bloodline? The term Illuminati bloodline refers to a theory that suggests a group of families who are allegedly descendants of the historical Illuminati control much of the world's wealth and power. The Illuminati, a designation US from the 15th century, was assumed by or applied to various groups of persons who claimed to be unusually enlightened. According to Fritz Springmeier, an author who has written extensively on this subject, there are 13 such families. These families are said to have connections to unimaginable wealth and power, and span from Europe to China. They are believed to control almost every sphere of life, including politics, business, and entertainment. However, it's important to note that these claims remain largely unsubstantiated and are considered conspiracy theories. They often rely on speculation, conjecture, and selective interpretation of events. The actual historical Illuminati was a short-lived movement of freethinkers that was founded in 1776 in Ingolstadt by Professor Adam Weishaupt. Some say, in an attempt to restore balance in the world, a new world order was formed by America and Europe's most elite, both in terms of wealth and power, with historical roots that date back centuries. This powerhouse formed by 13 families is known to be controlling practically everything around the globe, from political parties around the world, courthouses, educational institutions, natural resources, foreign policies, food, national economies, media houses, and even terrorist organizations. They are the ones who decide where and when the next terror attack is going to happen. They decide when the markets will fall. They decide when a new government needs to take over. They determine what happens at the UN. Hey, decide practically everything. What we didn't know. Modern-day democracy, like the way we know it, is not more than 250 years old. The world, as we know it, has always been ruled by the ones with absolute power. Those who knew how to control wealth and resources. By those who knew how to control their people by hook or crook. The New World Order aims to work on a similar philosophy of absolute power and control, but on a global scale. The plan is to secretly have a single body governing the planet, with the elite sitting right on top of the food chain, leaving the rest of the world fighting for that 1% of the global economy. Scarier is the fact that they also want to keep control of the US population. They want the global population to be just under 1 billion, leaving Earth's resources for their exclusive use. And to keep the population in check, they are willing to go to any extent. Even plan scientifically engineered global population control methods like viruses, vaccines, and genetically modified food. It is also said that these families even hold the cure for terminal diseases like cancer and AIDS. Bhutan want to release it to the public because then there'll be a cure. And a worldwide is not a treatment for the pharma business. 13 families that secretly control the world. Now for those famous bloodlines who control everything. These guys are so rich and powerful that they make Ambani and Gates look like peasants. Their ideologies and connections aren't known to the public, which is why we don't know much about them. Don't question yourself if you don't recognize them. That was their plan. 1. The Astor bloodline. The Astor family, also known as the Astor bloodline, achieved prominence in business, society, and politics in the United States and the United Kingdom during the 19th and 20th centuries. The family's roots can be traced back to Italian and German ancestry in the Italian and Swiss Alps. The Astors first appeared in North America in the 18th century with John Jacob Astor, one of the wealthiest people in history. John Jacob Astor, born Johann Jakob Astor, was the youngest of 4 sons born to Johann Jacob Astor (1724–1816) and Maria Magdalena von Berg (1730–1764). The family can trace their ancestry to Giovanni Asdor (1595–1668) and Greta Ursula Asdor (1589). John Jacob and his brother George left Germany and moved to London in 1778. There, they established a flute-making company. In 1783, John Jacob left for Baltimore, Maryland, leaving his brother in charge of the London business. John Jacob's wealth originated in fur trading. He used his fortune to invest in New York real estate, and by his death in 1848, he was America's first ever millionaire. His wife, Sarah Cox Todd, significantly contributed to his success. She was known for her business acumen and became a leading expert in quality pelts. During the 19th century, the Astors became one of the wealthiest families in the United States. Some members of the family moved to England towards the end of that century and achieved high prominence there. Their legacy continues today through many public works, including the New York Public Library. 2. The Bundy bloodline. The Bundy family, also known as the Bundy bloodline, has been prominent in various fields. Here are some notable members. The Bundys of Nevada. This family of ranchers from Nevada has owned its land since the late 1800s. They rose to national prominence in 2014 after leading an armed standoff with federal agents from the U.S. Bureau of Land Management, BLM. The feud between the Bundys and BLM goes back to 1993. McGeorge Bundy. He was an American academic who sued S.D. as the U.S. National Security Advisor to Presidents John F. Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson from 1961 through 1966. He was president of the Ford Foundation from 1966 through 1979. Despite his career as a foreign policy intellectual, educator, and philanthropist, HEU.S.U.S. is best remembered as one of the chief architects of the United States' escalation of the Vietnam War during the Kennedy and Johnson administrations. There are also conspiracy theories associated with the Bundy bloodline, linking them to secret societies like the Illuminati. However, these claims lack substantial evidence and are generally considered speculative. 3. The Collins bloodline. The Collins family, also known as the Collins bloodline, is an old New England family. Early members of it were Francis, Edward, and John. Like most top families, the Collins have spread all over, so that even the West Coast has some members of this family. The Collins family is also an indigenous Irish name derived from the Irish Gaelic, O'Coileane. The surname Collins was first found in North Desmond, the ancient kingdom of Dace Muin, Desmond, located on the southwest coast of Ireland in the province of Munster, later part of County Limerick, where they were lords of the baronies of Canello and lords of Aider Congalloch, Lower Canello. By the 13th century, they had moved south and settled in West Cork, having been driven out of their original territories by the Geraldines. There are also conspiracy theories associated with the Collins bloodline, linking them to secret societies like the Illuminati. However, these claims lack substantial evidence and are generally considered speculative. 4. The DuPont bloodline. The DuPont family, also known as the DuPont bloodline, is a prominent American family descended from Pierre Samuel DuPont de Nemours, 1739–1817. The family has been among the richest in the United States since the mid-19th century, when it founded its fortune in the gunpowder business. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, it expanded its wealth through the chemical industry and the automotive industry, with substantial interests in the DuPont Company, General Motors, and various other corporations. The family's first American estate, Eleutherian Mills, located at Hagley Museum and Library, was preserved and restored by Louise E. DuPont Crowninshield. She also helped to establish the National Trust for Historic Preservation in 1949. In recent years, the family has continued to be known for its association with political and business ventures, as well as philanthropic causes. 2 family members were the subjects of well-publicized criminal cases. John Eleuthère DuPont was convicted of murdering wrestling coach Dave Schultz in 1996. And Robert H. Richards IV was convicted of raping his 3-year-old daughter in 2009. As of 2016, the family fortune was estimated at $14.3 billion, spread across more than 3,500 living relatives. There are also conspiracy theories associated with the DuPont bloodline, linking them to secret societies like the Illuminati. However, these claims lack substantial evidence and are generally considered speculative. 5. The Freeman bloodline. The Freeman family, known as the Freeman bloodline, has roots in England and Ireland. The surname Freeman is derived from a nickname for a free-born man. The surname Freeman is also used as an anglicized version of Mac and Hare, which means the son of the craftsman. In the United States, the name Freeman is the 123rd most popular surname, with an estimated 184,038 people with that name. However, in Canada, the name Freeman is ranked the 596th most popular surname, with an estimated 8,448 people with that name. One notable event involving the Freeman family was the Freeman family murders. That occurred in Salisbury Township, Lehigh County, Pennsylvania, on February 26, 1995. 2 brothers, 17-year-old Brian Freeman and 16-year-old David Freeman, and their cousin, 18-year-old Nelson B. Birdwell III, brutally murdered the brothers' parents. Brenda, Dennis, and 11-year-old younger brother Eric are at their family home. Conspiracy theories are also associated with the Freeman bloodline, linking them to secret societies like the Prieuré de Sion and Skull and Bones. However, these claims lack substantial evidence and are generally considered speculative. 6. The Kennedy bloodline. The Kennedy family, also known as the Kennedy bloodline, is an American political family that has long been prominent in American politics, public service, entertainment, and business. The family's roots can be traced back to Dunganstown, New Ross, County Wexford, Ireland. The family first arrived in the United States in 1849. The family's founder was Patrick Kennedy, 1823 to 1858. In 1884, 35 years after the family's arrival from Ireland, Patrick Joseph P.J. Kennedy became the first Kennedy elected to public office, serving in the Massachusetts state legislature until 1895. At least one Kennedy family member served in federal elective office from 1947, when P.J. Kennedy's grandson John F. Kennedy became a member of Congress from Massachusetts, until 2011, when Patrick J. Kennedy II, John's nephew, retire U.S., a member of the U.S. House of Representatives from Rhode Island. P.J.'s son Joseph P. Kennedy Sr. had 9 children with his wife, Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy. Their children included John F. Kennedy, who served in both houses of the United States Congress and as U.S. President, Robert F. Kennedy, who served as U.S. Attorney General and as a U.S. Senator, and Ted Kennedy, who served more than years in the U.S. Senate. Other descendants include members of the U.S. House of Representatives members, 2 U.S. ambassadors, 1 U.S. envoy, a lieutenant governor, 3 state legislators, 1 also served in the U.S. House of Representatives, and 1 mayor. Joseph and Andros's daughter, Eunice, founded the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development, part of the National Institutes of Health, and the Special Olympics. Conspiracy theories are also associated with the Kennedy bloodline, linking them to secret societies like the Illuminati. However, these claims lack substantial evidence and are generally considered speculative. 7. The Lee bloodline. The Lee bloodline refers to the House of Lee, which was the ruling house of the Western Liang dynasty and the Tang dynasty of China. The Lee family originated in the Longxi Commandery and had Han ethnic origins. They were also known as the Longxi Li lineage, which included the famous Tang poet Li Bai. The Li family were members of the Northwest military aristocracy prevalent during the Sui dynasty. According to the official records of the Tang dynasty, the Li family was paternally descended from the famous Taoist sage Laozi, whose personal name was Li Dan or Li Er, as well as the Han dynasty general Li Guang and Li Gao. the ethnic Han ruler of Western Liang dynasty. During the late Northern and Southern dynasties period, the Li family intermarried with Xianbei royalty when Li Bing, the ethnically Han father of the first Tang emperor, married the part Xianbei Duchess Dugu, the daughter of prominent Xianbei general Dugu Xin. The Khagans of the Yenisei Kyrgyz Khaganate also claimed Longxi Li ancestry, through descent from the Han dynasty general Li Ling. For this reason, the Kyrgyz Khagan was recognized as a member of the Tang imperial family. Other prominent members of the Longxi Li lineage from the Tang period included generals Li Jing and Li Jiangshou, chancellors Li Yiyan, Li Kui, Li Wei, Li Fengji, and Li Jiaoda, the official Li Jiangyan, and the poet Li Bai. 8. The Onassis bloodline. The Onassis bloodline refers to the descendants of Aristotle Socrates Onassis, a Greek and Argentine business magnate. He was born on January 20, 1906, in Smyrna, Ionia, Ottoman Empire, modern-day Izmir in Turkey. And she died on March 15, 1975. Onassis amassed the world's largest privately owned shipping fleet, and was one of the world's mainstream historical or biographical accounts that do not substantiate these wealthiest and most famous men. He was married to Athena Mary Livanos and later to American former First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy. He also had a long-standing affair with opera singer Maria Callas. Onassis was greatly affected by the death of his 24-year-old son, Alexander, in a plane crash in 1973. And he died 2 years later. His descendants include his daughter Christina and granddaughter Athena Onassis. There are also some conspiracy theories related to the Onassis family and their alleged connections to secret societies squared cubed to the power of 4. But these are not substantiated by mainstream historical or biographical accounts. 9. The Rockefeller bloodline. The Rockefeller bloodline refers to the descendants of the Rockefeller family, an American industrial, political, and banking family that owns one of the world's largest fortunes. The fortune was made in the American petroleum industry during the late 19th and early 20th century by brothers John D. Rockefeller and William A. Rockefeller Jr., primarily through Standard Oil, the predecessor of ExxonMobil and Chevron Corporation. The Rockefeller family originated in the Rhineland region in Germany and can be traced to New Wheat in the early 17th century. The American family branch is descended from Johann Peter Rockefeller, 1681-1763, who migrated from the Rhineland to Philadelphia in the province of Pennsylvania around 1723. One of the first members of the Rockefeller family in New York was businessman William A. Rockefeller Sr. Born to a Protestant family in Granger, New York, he had 6 children with his first wife, Eliza Davison, a daughter of a Scots-Irish farmer, the most prominent of which were oil tycoons John D. Rockefeller and William A. Rockefeller Jr., the co-founders of Standard Oil. The combined wealth of the family, their total assets and investments, plus the individual wealth of its members, has never been known with any precision. The records of the family archives relating to both the family and individual members' net worth are closed to researchers. Modern heirs of the Rockefeller fortune are keeping the Rockefeller legacy alive in the worlds of finance, fashion, philanthropy, and beyond. 10. The Russell bloodline. The Russell bloodline refers to the Russell family, a famous English Whig family. The senior line has held the title of Duke of Bedford since 1694. Originating in Dorset, the family first became prominent under the Tudor sovereigns. John Russell, died 1555, was created Earl of Bedford for his part in suppressing a rebellion in 1549 against the Protestant innovations of Edward V's reign. The family was connected with the Parliamentary Party in the English Civil Wars. Perhaps the most notable member of the family was Lord John Russell, afterward First Earl Russell, a proponent of schemes for reform of Parliament and twice Prime Minister in the mid-19th century. In the 20th century, the family's most famous member was Lord John Russell's grandson, the philosopher Bertrand Russell, 3rd Earl Russell. There are also some conspiracy theories related to the Russell family and their alleged connections to secret societies. For example, William Huntington Russell from the Russell bloodline is said to be the founder of the Skull and Bones Order, which is assumed to be another branch of the Illuminati. However, These are not substantiated by mainstream historical or biographical accounts. 11. The Van Dun bloodline. The Van Dun bloodline is the subject of a conspiracy theory that has emerged in recent years. Proponents of this theory claim that a powerful and secretive group of elites, who trace their ancestry to a single, elite bloodline that controls much of the world's wealth and power. Despite the lack of concrete evidence to support these claims, the Van Dun bloodline conspiracy has gained a significant following, with numerous websites and online forums devoted to exploring and discussing the theory. According to conspiracy theorists, the Van Dun family is a secretive group of elites who control much of the world's wealth and power, and who are united by their shared ancestry and their commitment to maintaining the strength of their bloodline. Proponents of this theory point to several high-profile individuals who are said to be members of the Van Dun bloodline, including politicians, business leaders, and even celebrities. Despite the claims of the Van Dun bloodline conspiracy, there is little concrete evidence to support the idea that a single, secretive group of elites controls the world. Furthermore, many of the claims made by proponents of the theory are based on speculation, conjecture, and a selective interpretation of the available evidence. For example, the supposed connection between high-profile individuals and the Van Dun bloodline is often based on tenuous links, such as shared family names or similar-looking coats of arms. It is also worth noting that the Van Dun bloodline conspiracy is not the only theory of its kind. There are many similar theories, each of which claims that a different group of elites, united by bloodline or ancestry, control the world. Despite their differences, however, all of these theories share a common thread. They are based on speculation, conjecture, and a selective interpretation of the available evidence. 12. The Merovingian bloodline. The Merovingian bloodline refers to the Merovingian dynasty, which was the ruling family of the Franks from the middle of the 5th century until 751. They first appeared as kings of the Franks in the Roman army of northern Gaul. By 509, they had united all the Franks and northern Gallo-Romans under their rule. The dynasty's name, Merovingi or Merohingii, derives from an unattested Frankish form, akin to the attested Old English Merowiang. The name originates from Salian king Merovech, central to many legends. The Merovingians' long hair distinguished them from the Franks, who commonly cut their hair short. Contemporaries sometimes called them the U.S. from long-haired kings, Latin reges creniti. A Merovingian whose hair was cut could not rule, and a rival could be removed from the succession by being tonsured and sent to a monastery. There are also some conspiracy theories related to the Merovingian bloodline. Some theories posit that the Merovingian dynasty had sacred bloodline ties to Jesus Christ and the Holy Grail. According to these theories, the Merovingian dynasty was the keeper of a secret and powerful bloodline, which was said to possess supernatural powers and knowledge. However, these theories are not substantiated by mainstream historical or biographical accounts. 13. The Rothschild bloodline. The Rothschild bloodline refers to the Rothschild family, a wealthy Ashkenazi Jewish family originally from Frankfurt. The family rose to prominence with Mayer Amschel Rothschild, 1744 to 1812, a court factor to the German Landgraves of Hesse-Kassel in the Free City of Frankfurt. Holy Roman Empire, who established his banking business in the 1760s. Unlike most previous court factors, Rothschild managed to bequeath his wealth and established an international banking family through his 5 sons, who established businesses in London, Paris, Frankfurt, Vienna, and Naples. The family was elevated to noble rank in the Holy Roman Empire and the United Kingdom. The family's documented history starts in 16th-century Frankfurt. Its name is derived from the family house Rothschild, built by Isaac Elchin and Bacharach in Frankfurt in 1567. During the 19th century, the Rothschild family possessed the most considerable private fortune in the world, as well as in modern world history. The family's wealth declined over the 20th century and was divided among many descendants. Today, their interests cover various fields, including financial services, real estate, mining, energy, agriculture, winemaking, and nonprofits. Many examples of the family's rural architecture exist across northwestern Europe. The Rothschild family has frequently been the subject of conspiracy theories, many of which have anti-Semitic origins. That's all the video information for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Please subscribe, share, and like this video if you like it. Farewell, and enjoy many good days.